Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use a template. It's really simple. I made one here. I have several bits, and I'm going to be doing the Decepticon sign for the Ravage that I'm currently building. Now, this will also show you how much time can go into even the simplest parts. Just going to carefully draw around the template, making sure that nothing moves out of position. You don't want to draw too hard because you could rip the foam with the pencil, and then no matter how good you cut, you will not get a nice finish. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Now this is the tricky part. Got to make sure these don't move when I draw them. See how the template just wants to keep moving. Okay, so that's that. Now we just flip the template over, line up the template again, just so I can draw these pieces. I don't know if my hand is in the way. Sorry if it is, but you'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Okay. Oops, forgot one bit. The last template, last Decepticon logo I did worked out really well, but because I'm videoing this one, I'll probably screw it up. Now we need the eye template, and we lay this back in place. Make sure it's right, and then we draw the eye and flip it over again, make sure it's in the right place, and draw the eye. Okay, now there. Don't know where. Yep, we can see that. Now we have the Decepticon logo. Okay. Now let's get cutting. First couple of cuts are really easy. Just follow the line. Remember, score along the line first. Give the blade a channel to follow. First piece. When you're doing a complicated template and you pop pieces out, sometimes helps to lay them to the side and in the position that they're going to be. That way you don't have tons of little pieces and you're trying to figure out, you're building a jigsaw. It takes too much time. Also, when you're doing edges or you got corners, really sharp angle corners like this, you want to make sure you cut all the way, because if you don't and you pull it, sometimes it will rip the piece that you're trying to keep. So make sure you cut all the way. And a really good way to do that is just what I was doing there. Okay. Alright, now let's do the middle piece. And as you can see, some people will look at this foam work and think, oh, it's so easy. It doesn't take that much time. But to get good results, you really have to take your time. I mean, this one little Decepticon logo, making a template, I guess I could have printed out a JPEG or something and traced around it, but I just copied it off a picture and made the template myself. And then you got to make it onto the foam, then you got to cut it. It's going to take like 5-6 minutes to do. Now, to get really close up here, you don't want cut lines like this in the actual template. or not template, but in the piece you want. So start on one of the corners, go as far as you can. Now the blade isn't straight, so what you do, push the blade through and then saw up and down, keeping the blade straight. Now you see how the blade, the cutting part of the blade is actually straight up and down. Booyah, right there. Right there. Perfect. Okay, now I've just got to cut the rest of it out. And you've really got to concentrate. So if I go quiet for a few minutes, it's just because I'm concentrating, because you have to make sure you cut the right piece. Okay, next piece. Now I didn't put a little triangle. There's supposed to be a little triangle cut out. I didn't do that on the template, so I'm going to just rough it by hand. I wouldn't recommend doing this because you could mess up this whole little piece, but I'm a professional. Not quite. There we go, that's pretty good. Okay, so there, now we got the tricky part. We need to keep all of this. Okay, not the eyes. The eyes we'll take out next. And to get the nice clean edges, gonna sew the blade straight up and down. I just know I'm going to make a mistake while I'm showing you guys how to do it. I can feel it. Even I'm going to make a mistake or cut my finger off. Okay, don't need that bit. Had to go get the phone, sorry about that. Okay. So now we're cutting the eye out. And again, hold the blade straight up so you get a nice clean finish. There we go. Okay, now let's cut this part. Now, when you've got small areas like this you need to cut out, and then large areas like this to cut off, cut the small area out first. That way it helps keep the foam all together. If you cut this, if you have a thin piece like this, and you need to cut out a piece, you need to cut out that piece, your fingers are very close to the blade and the foam bends out in the way, so it would be better to have as much foam around as you can. So I'm going to cut these thin pieces out now. You see how I can keep my fingers on a piece that needs to be cut off. If I cut this off first, my fingers have to be this close to the blade. Not always good. Now, this bit here, you got to be really careful because it's so thin. You don't want to cut and make a groove in the part you want. Now we should be able to just push that through. Okay, that one can't come through, so we'll just, means there's a piece in the corner still. There we go. Got it. Okay. So we'll do the same this side. a good tip is when you're nearing the end of cutting a template out, don't get excited and rush it thinking, oh yeah, it's going to look good, because that's normally when you make a mistake. If you're going to make a mistake, do it at the beginning so you haven't wasted all this time. Should just pop through, yep. Should just pop through, yep. Okay. Now, we need to cut along here. And it is okay to, if you've got some lines, I mean, I'm not going to do it on this, but you can just use scissors. Cuts a pretty straight line. But I just like using a knife. I feel you have more control. I'll be curious to see how long this video actually takes, so then I can truly understand how much time I sit doing these things. I said it would take about 5 minutes to do this template, but they say time flies when you're having fun, and this to me is fun, so maybe it takes a lot longer than 5 minutes. Now, here's a quick tip. When you've got to end the cut at a very sharp angle, that's where you want to end. Don't try and start the cut there. It's a lot trickier. It can be done, but it's a lot trickier. It's better to finish the cut. And go slow. Boom. Okay, just going to pull that apart a little. Okay, so we just got this part to get out now. Oh, I haven't cut that bit yet. Sometimes when you have to cut a thin piece like this, then it is easy just to get scissors and cut it. But that's up to you. I'm going to just use the knife. Hopefully we can pull this out. There we go. Okay, now it needs a little bit of tidying up just there. A very steady hand. Okay. Now let's see how it looks. Now obviously until we glue it down it might stick up a little. But we have that bit in there. And then these go right there. And now we have the two. Bend this one a little so it lays flat. There we have the two Decepticon signs or logos. So I hope some of you found this interesting, and yeah, keep trying, and I'll keep taking videos. Anybody needs any help with anything, just let me know. Thank you.